Welcome everyone. We're going to wait a little bit for everyone to join the event. So thank you again for taking the time on this Friday and for joining as an early adopter of CharityGPT. And as mentioned, we'll go live in just a second. I will go ahead and pull up a few things. If you could, let's go ahead and, hey Mason, if you could in the chat, just go ahead and mention, what you're looking to learn today. A little bit about yourself. Thank you for joining the community. So we'll say, let's go. We're going to wait a little bit for everyone to join. We'll probably go until like 12:01, 12:02. Let everyone join. If you want to introduce yourselves in the chat, that would be great. Everything is being recorded today. Excited to show everyone around CharityGPT. So please introduce yourself in the chat. Let us know what you'd like to learn. That's really important to us. Our platform is going to continue to grow, continue to improve. And what we're going to do today is show you a short demo of the platform, but then go into some questions and just really help point people in the right direction. We also want your feedback, and we'll show you how to give that to us as well. So thank you again for joining the community. Go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat, and we will start up at around 12:02 with the demo of the platform. But we'd love to get those questions in there and just let us know what you'd like to learn today. Welcome, Tomas, Leslie, Elisa, Jasmine, Bill. Welcome, Mason. All right, we'll continue to let people trickle in here, and then we'll get things started. Can everyone see the chat? Welcome in, Edward. Hey, Lisa, thanks for introducing yourself in the chat. So just making sure that works. It should be down in the bottom corner of the screen. Hello from Iowa. I'm Jordan Patrick. I am the Chief Product Officer. I'm the founder of Raise More. CharityGPT is a product of Raise More. And so excited to show everyone today. And welcome Jasmine, Edward. Thank you for letting me know you can see the chat. Let me know, feel free to post questions in there throughout, but also just let me know what you'd like to learn today. Again, this is an early platform. We're excited to continue to grow it. We'll be growing it every week, every month. And we love the feedback from the nonprofit community. That's the reason why we started the community first as we were getting things out. But we're really excited to get a few new updates in and hope that everyone's starting to see some value from the platform so far. So let's see. Is CharityGPT a front end for everything that can be accessed? Okay, great. We'll definitely go over that. It does use, so we use ChatGPT, so we use OpenAI as well as Gemini, Claude, Stable Diffusion for like images as well as DALL-E. But what we've done is built on top of those layers and created that vertical for nonprofits. So all the personas we're going to show today, all the different prompts, those sets of things are really created to make it easier for nonprofits to adopt the platform. So we'll have little bits of functionality here and there that are different. It's built on the core technology of OpenAI and those other AI platforms. So as we build, we'll continue to improve as they improve, as well as the different features and functionality we add on. Yep. Sorry, Leslie. Yeah, we're using the Circle community live stream today. So wanted to see how that would work out. Sorry if that bumped you out. But thank you to everyone for adding questions in there. We're going to go ahead and start the demo. As I mentioned, we'll make it a short demo today. Really just try to point people in the right direction. And then once we're done, we'll answer any questions. We'll be doing a lot more of these in terms of shorter videos, some of the new courses coming out. So thank you again to everyone that's joined the community and the platform as early adopters. So again, if you haven't already, most of you, from seeing the names, already joined the community. We'd love for you to join the community. You can join it through here by clicking on community and joining. And then you can also start with CharityGPT for free if you like to. Anyone that signs up by the end of the month, we're providing 5,000 words and 5 free images. So you can get started, really get acquainted with it. And then what we'll really do, and then you have the ability to upgrade and add new things. So today, let's go ahead and jump into the platform here. So I'm using, today I'm going to use basically the reference. And the reason why I say we're going to do a bunch more of these is we want to really showcase how different fundraisers, marketers, EDs can use the platform to really see all the value provided in it. So today I'm going to basically pretend like I'm at, Atlantic Humane Society. I am a marketing person, and hopefully, even if you're not in marketing, you can start to see some of the different aspects of what and how you can use CharityGPT. So the first thing I want to show off when you get in is the dashboard. It'll show you all of your recent documents. If you favorite things, it'll show you your favorites down here, and then it'll always give you access to see how much more usage you have left in the platform. If you ever want to upgrade, you can upgrade for more usage. You can upgrade to our team plan if you want to have teams that share these different resources, and we'll show you a little bit of that today. And then we try to make it as easy as possible. Make sure you can cancel at any point in time. So hopefully anyone that's used the dashboard so far has just gotten a little look of things. We have it in English and Spanish, as well as, I know sometimes my eyes get a little bad, so we have dark mode as well. And then the search functionality, this is really going to be there at all times. It's always in that header so that you can always find a way to go search for things, whether it be templates or even the different documents you've created. So you can go through here and easily find, okay, here are the different personas, here are the different templates, and find them directly from there without even having to go into the different pieces. The sidebar is where you're going to be able to find everything. If you have a smaller device, we have the ability to minimize it. But the next one we're going to show is the document section. One of the reasons why we created CharityGPT, we love OpenAI, we love ChatGPT and all these other platforms. But one of the biggest things for us is, it's just that one long list of chats that you have, and you can basically either archive them and rename them, and that's about it. What we want to do is every time you're either using a prompt or persona and you're creating these documents, we want it to be able to save and then allow you to really categorize and organize these different things. So the ability to add new folders if you'd like to put different things in different folders. So we have our animals folder here, and you can add images, you can add these different docs as you're working. So everything that you create will be in here, and you can easily sort. You can add you can add the different favorites by talking as favorites, move them to different folders, and create different folders. You can also use the list view versus the card view, but that's the main thing that we want to be able to do. And then is keep it organized, as well as you're creating these new things, instead of having just a response from the AI. Now you can come in here and say, okay, here's my email marketing strategy. I want to go ahead and actually tweak some things. So most of the time, we emphasize regenerate things, try new things, edit what you're doing, and as opposed to just taking exactly what the AI is giving you. So you can always come in here. You can always, use all these different rich text formatting options, as well as go ahead and add new information and then save. So that way it keeps everything in the same space. You can always download it, you can delete it, you can copy that information, and now it's back in your documents and save. So again, you're getting the AI information, but if you need to tweak it, you can always regenerate it, or you can just have that output, tweak it a little bit, and then save it, and it's right there. So you can easily copy it, you can download it to a Word doc and share it, but you're never going to lose those different types of information. The next up, we're going to show the personas, and again, we're going to do a little bit of a brief overview of the dashboard today, because we have the courses coming out, and we'll have shorter and smaller videos, and we really want to dive into your questions. So the big ones we're going to show today are going to be the brand voice, the personas, and the use cases. The other ones, we'd love for you guys to check them out on your own, and we'll have more information on those in our course. And you can always ask questions in those course categories. So when you're in the actual community, go to personas, go to vision, go to these types of things that you can use in terms of features, and ask questions, and we'd be happy to answer them. So the first one, actually, before we go to personas and use cases, is going to be the brand voice. This is a very important thing, because it's probably the first thing we want you to do in here. When it comes to AI, we want it to really understand, your organization, your role. And then if you're, a consultant and you're working with multiple organizations, you can have multiple brand voices in here. With, ChatGPT, oftentimes you either have to use, custom instructions and constantly go back in there and change them to another organization by rewriting them, or you'd have to start your prompt and, a new prompt and say all this information about your organization. what we want to do is provide you with the ability to come in here. So I've created one for Hatch for Hunger, one of the charities I've worked with, and then Atlanta Humane Society as well. And really come in here and add your organization name, what it is you do in terms of like the industry or the field, the category for your nonprofit, the description. Looks like I messed that up. I'll go ahead and save that. It'll update the website, your tagline, your tone of voice, the target audience. So it takes all of these things, and when you are using these personas, will show you how to use your brand voice, because you start off from scratch or start off using your brand voice, and instead of having to type it all in, it's directly pulling from here, and the AI knows about your nonprofit. So this allows you to add that information one time and then reuse it. And if you ever want to tweak it, you come in here again, so that you have one spot where you change those things up. The other thing for organizations that have, are service-based organizations or even sell products, you can come in here and add different information about your products or services, and we'll show you how to use those as well. So let me go ahead and save. And like I said, you can create as many of these as you'd like to. And again, the nice piece is when we come in here to personas and to use cases, we'll go to use cases in just a second. We'll do personas. I guess we'll do use cases first. You can come in here and we have all the different categories. So if you're ever looking, we'll say, we're going to be doing marketing. You can come in here and ask for marketing. You can go back to all, if you're looking for more information about, whether it be, fundraising, all these things are coming up. If you have all, there's over 600. So it can get a little bit in depth and maybe a little bit overwhelming, but that's why we want to categorize it. We're going to continue to work on ways to make this as easy as possible for you all to find. And then even if you don't know exactly what you want, you can always come in here and type it. So you could say like email marketing. All right, I want to do email marketing strategy and be able to take you right there. So that's one of the ones that we'll show today. So we're here in the marketing category. We'll do email marketing strategy. And so here's where it comes to the actual use cases. What we wanted to do is, this is just the description. The actual prompt itself is actually a few paragraphs, and it's built into the actual prompt. We just want to be able to show you, okay, what is that information that we're trying to get out? For this one specifically, all we're asking for is additional details. Other times, if it's for a specific event, we'll ask for like event name or event type, and we'll have these different inputs. And then you can just come in here and say, hey, I want that in English. I want it in Spanish. I want a different tone of voice. And here's where it comes into adding in your brand. So for the brand, I could say Atlanta Humane Society. We'll do pet adoptions. And I'll go ahead and generate. And it takes a few seconds, but we'll be able to show you how this all works. And again, by saving it, you'll be able to have it into the actual documents. And what's nice too is once it actually creates this content, you can always, rewrite it from here. You can always mark it up. And I'll just do like some small markups so that you can see it. So it gives you some basic markups. I'll just do some things like bolding. Maybe I want to change. Maybe I don't like this number 4. I'll go ahead and delete that. And yeah, let's go ahead and go with that. And the nice piece is, again, you can go ahead and change all these things. You can regenerate if you like to. And as you saw, this isn't optional in terms of additional information because you already have your brand voice in there. But say you have some information where you're thinking, I need to have more information, or I want to provide more context. That's where you'd add in these additional details. You can also create multiple, posts. So if you want a few different versions, you can do it that way. And then this works really well when it comes to like blog content, when it comes to social media posts, different things like that. So you can come in here and save. That's saved to your documents. I'm going to go ahead and actually name it real quick. I'm going to say email marketing strategy for demo. Save that. And if I go back into documents, I have email marketing strategy for demo. So again, you have a card view. It's always going to show you what you used in terms of the templates. I could save that. And again, if I didn't like it, I can come in here and tweak it again later on and then save it. I can always, download it, like I was saying, to Microsoft Word, an HTML template. You can copy it directly to your clipboard. So we're just trying to make it as simple as possible for people. And then we're going to continue to add more share options as things come along. The next up, we're going to show the personas. And thank you, Bill. And yeah, continue to ask questions in there. Bill asked a question about Jasper AI, and we'll definitely get to that at the end. And again, feel free to ask as many questions as you like. I know we're doing a quick run through today. Want to do about a 20-minute demo and then really answer some questions. We put in for an hour, but we're going to try to keep it 2:30 to 45 minutes, mainly because it's a holiday week. It's a Friday. We appreciate people joining from all over the country and the world. So yeah, thank you again for that. The personas, think about these as little mini assistants, right? These are what we like to say is, AI to replenish people, not to replace people. We know that so many nonprofits, having worked in the industry for 10 plus years, have so many different hats that you're wearing. And the biggest thing that that you always notice is whether it be a board meeting or an event planning meeting or even just a team meeting, the perspective that you're getting on questions is really going to be determined by what their position is, what their perspective is. So by that, I mean, if you're doing an event planning meeting and it's, say, a gala and you are having these questions, the event and operations, or event coordinator and operations people are going to have a much different perspective than the fundraising people. The same thing goes with AI. When you use AI, it is a very knowledgeable but a very naive type of platform. And so what you want to do is give it these different personas, these personalities, this pre-trained information. So each one of these is pre-trained on a specific position or department. So we started off with departments first. We have individual actual positions down below as well. But in case you don't want an actual position, but you just want to do development and fundraising instead of a development director, you come in here and just type in and say, all right, I want development. I want it to be just from that perspective, or I can talk to an annual giving strategist. And each of these are pre-trained to really go over all that information to make it or to have that information in that perspective. And so that way you're having those conversations with the actual persona from that perspective, instead of just getting that baseline average information. If you've ever used AI on ChatGPT and you ask a question without much context, you usually get a very general response. And so this allows you to have those questions and discussions with those different departments or those different positions. What you can also do, sometimes you'll come in here and you've got a picture right here of a dog from the Animal Society. You can always add and upload information for context for your discussions. We also have voice, where if you want to record it like you're almost talking in a meeting, you can do it that way. One of the things that we have is we have HR personas, so you can always do a mock interview. You can ask different questions and use different prompts. And then we have the ability, if you want to create your own prompts as well, you can come in here and create your own prompts that you can reuse. So if there's ones that you like from our use cases, from our prompts in the community, or ones that you just like to use, go ahead and save those in here. And that'll save you time each time you're having a discussion. So I'll say, is there any question that anyone wants to ask development and fundraising? I'll look in the chat real quick. If not, I'll come up with one real quick. All right, looks like no one's got one. So, that's just a question coming in. So, can you come up with an annual giving strategy for this year? And so we're going to start off very generic, but that's the point of chats, right? It's we have these different prompts and these use cases, but you can chat to get more information to really dive into those things. So I'll let that load up real quick. Sorry, I've got, with the live chat, it's going a little bit slower with the video and everything, but the nice piece is this is where chat and a lot of the other courses in our community are going to go into like, prompt engineering. We want to make it as easy as possible with the prompts, with the use cases, with the personas. But the other thing to know is just how to really, have these conversations. Prompt engineering, I don't love that they created that name for it. I think it seems a little more daunting than it is. It's really just asking questions, right? Just like you would any other person on your team. It's asking things to the development and fundraising department. It's asking, questions. If you text, if you email, if you use social media, which we all use at least one of those, I would assume, if we're on this, that you can do prompt engineering. It's really just asking the right questions and then being able to dive in and say, okay, let's go ahead and, actually, let's dive into, donor education. You can always copy from here and send it directly anywhere else, but I'll say, let's go more in depth on donor education. And so I won't go too in depth because, again, the nice thing about it is just go in here and play around, whether it be CharityGPT, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. Our goal, we would love for you to use CharityGPT, but our goal is to help nonprofits, leverage AI to really take that burden off of yourselves when it comes to having to wear multiple hats, having low budget, still dealing with the overhead myth, and really making that easier. So this kind of goes into how you can chat with those different things. All these other features you can always check out as well. Again, we won't go into them too much, but you can create, images, play around with this, use this as a different feature. You can always come in here, change to advanced settings. We were making a joking one about, cats sitting, waiting for an adoption. So this was one created by Dali. This is, just a dog shelter in Atlanta with puppies and kittens being adopted. So these are different things that you can use. AI has its limitations as well. There are certain things that it's not great with images, but try those different things out. It's not good with logos. It's still getting better with like people in terms of, you'll see like fingers and hands and sometimes, like teeth as an issue. It's going to get better and we're built off of those technologies. So as it gets better, CharityGPT will get better and we'll be tweaking it as well on our end. But this is just the types of things that you can use. One of the cool ways we've seen it used, whether it be the documents or even like the rewriter or the vision is, I'll just do two quick ones. Images, what we've done is we've had it where you can go ahead and describe an image of a dog and maybe a family, and then just send that out as if people don't want to use their faces, if they don't want to use like a dog, like this is a way to do it where it's generalized, where you can still have imagery, especially a lot of those like health nonprofits or medical nonprofits where there might be some like either HIPAA violations or some type of thing where, imagery is not as accessible because you want to keep people private. This is being able to use that to create images to avoid having to use specific patients. That maybe creates that imagery for those campaigns. The rewriter, very similar to what we talked about. You can always rewrite things if you have information. You can change the mode. You can use it for translating. And then vision, one of the cool ways I want to show this was just, you can create a description for the dog. So you can go in there and have these chats and say, hey, I want, help me come up with a description. I'm gonna give you a few details and come up with like a fun loving description for this dog that we can put on our website. You can always ask different things. One of the other cool ones that I saw was for a Ronald McDonald House, taking a photo of the actual like apartment or the hotel room and saying, hey, describe this room and how we can make it seem very accessible and just really show to the families like this is a great room and showcase, or I guess tell them in words the great things about this room. Other things you can do, you can also say, hey, what are ways we could spruce up this room? So you're really just taking images and saying, hey, tell us how we can make this room better. Describe this room. Other things that we've seen is you can use it for taking pictures of plants or dogs and say, hey, what kind of dog do you think this is? It can help you come up with what the potential breed is based on just visual characteristics. And the last thing we'll go into is we do have the team plan. This allows you to share the different, the amounts of usage you have. And then we also have our referral program for early adopters right now. It's going to go down to 10% in the next month or two. If you start off with CharityGPT right now, it is 20%. Where we really want to make sure that we're spending our money on building up the platform and that word of mouth is really creating a lot more of that virality, so that we can really give back to the community and provide you all, a thank you for helping refer people to CharityGPT. So that can always be found in here under the invite or in the referral side of things. So with that, I will jump over to the questions. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. So let me go back up. Bill, thank you for the questions. So we talked a little bit about, thank you for the thumbs up. We talked about that first question. Second one is, we subscribe to Jasper.ai. It's very expensive at $50 per user per month. I would love a reason to move my team to CharityGPT if it has similar features. The brand voice is a selling point of Jasper, and I now see you can do this too. Exactly right, Bill. Jasper AI is a great platform. It is a little bit more pricey. So ours is $20. We have the team plan, which is $75 per month. And that's for a team of up to 5. So you could have 5 different people on that team. So it's not per user. So it's $75 all in, and you can add up to 5 people. So we do have, very similar features. It's built off the same core, AI platforms of OpenAI, Google Gemini, those types of things. I'm not actually sure at Jasper if they're OpenAI or Gemini. We've built in a few different ones. Right now we're on 4.0 of OpenAI, and we're adding in, we have Gemini and we have Claude as well. We're still adding in some of that functionality in. So right now it's on ChatGPT 4.0, which is the latest version. So hopefully that helps answer your question. If an individual already subscribes to the paid version of ChatGPT, could that paid plan be canceled if we subscribe to CharityGPT? Yes, I recommend that. I wouldn't have both as paid plans. One of the things to definitely check out is OpenAI just made 4.0. So it was ChatGPT 4. ChatGPT 4.0, it used to be where the pro plan was $20 and there was, and then free was the 3.5. When they moved to 4.0, you can now have the latest version for, I would say, cancel your pro plan, and it's purely usage based now. From the latest meetings by OpenAI, it looks like they're going to most likely just stay do 4.0, and when 5 comes out, 5 will be the paid plan, and 4.0 will be the free plan. Right now, 4.0 across the board is free, but you can but if you're paying for the pro plan, what that's getting you is just more usage. And so that's a recent development within the past, I think, month. And so, definitely feel free to either cancel that plan for both, for CharityGPT as well as for ChatGPT. When you cancel the plans, you still have access to that information in there. You're just removing the usage. So if you cancel that plan in ChatGPT, you'll still have accessibility into all those things. In fact, you'll still have 4.0, and then you'll be able to come into CharityGPT and use these different features. So, that's something we can definitely discuss more, but hopefully that helps answer your question. And does information stay private in our CharityGPT silo, or is it open info added to the Universal Cloud? Where can we find the ability to search for prospective donors? So we'll answer the first one first. It does stay in a silo. So one of the nice things about the APIs, which is the application programming interface, that's a little bit beyond this lesson, but when you're building off of these core technologies, you have much more control in terms of how your data is being used. We do not have it training on any of the data in CharityGPT. So OpenAI, Gemini, none of them get access in terms of training on that data. It's purely, it's purely siloed, to use your language, to CharityGPT. It's using the trained models and the AI from those different models, but none of that information will go out. We turn that feature off. They give you the ability to do that on or off. For actual ChatGPT and the actual Gemini apps, it's a little bit more difficult to turn that off, and they are going to train on things, especially if you're on the free platforms. But for us, it was very important for us that information for your nonprofit was able to leverage AI, but not be trained on. And we didn't even want to give the option there to turn on, turn off. We just thought it was best for the community to use the AI, but not actually have this information be trained on. The other is, where can we find the ability to search for prospective donors? So you can use CharityGPT and any AIs for helping come up with plans and outlines for finding prospective donors. You can use it to say, hey, let's come up with a checklist. Let's come up with different ideas. We can do all these things. When it comes to actually searching for people, one of the parameters for AI is that there are certain platforms out there that will use their database of contacts as well as AI to help search those things. You can't actually search for people or specific things in CharityGPT itself, mainly just for the privacy reasons, right? The same thing goes with trying to identify people with faces and stuff like that. We want to stay away from that, and the AI community wants to stay away from that as well, so that there is some a semblance of privacy in the AI sector. So you can use it. I think it's very important. It's helped out a lot of people when it comes to coming up with those plans. What are ideas? How do you go find donor information? Those types of things. But you can't like search for and say, hey, go scrape the web for this email, and that's for like data privacy concerns. In terms of risk management, if ChatGPT decides to change the API policy with that directly, until you have ChatGPT's long-term plans to continue to support API access for third parties. So OpenAI, it's almost definitive that they'll always leave it open for people to build on, because that is their core business model. And by that, I mean, ChatGPT, $20 a month doesn't really, they lose, I think it's millions of dollars per day just on the amount of like usage, and $20 per day just does not cover their actual like balance of them trying to have all these very expensive engineers and build up OpenAI and ChatGPT. If you ever heard of Twilio, they're the platform that powers all of the text messaging that you get, whether it be from political candidates, even nonprofit texting platforms out there. Almost all of them are using Twilio to power it. The same way that OpenAI and these platforms, they want these big corporations. We're a small business, but to be able to build on their platforms, because we pay for the usage to use their information. If not, they're basically secluded to only having ChatGPT. They're making so much more money though by powering all these different engines, whether it be Jasper AI, CharityGPT, all these AI tools out there. So I can't imagine a world in which that would be the case. If they change their policies, we would actually move to only using ones that don't use, that allow you to not train on that data. So that's why we've expanded into Claude, which is by Anthropic, into Gemini, into OpenAI, so that we can make those transitions. But we will always let the community know if anything like that ever changes. And then from the information that we have from the latest OpenAI meeting, it doesn't look like they'll be changing anytime sooner. They're always going to give you some type of access, because we're seeing basically the feedback and the response from people really not wanting this to be the case. Adobe just dealt with this and is going through a lawsuit because they had changed their terms. So we'll always be very transparent with that and make sure that you have that information. Awesome. Well, it looks like, are there any more questions that we can answer today? I'll go ahead and wait a few seconds. If not, we can go ahead and call it. You guys all have, I just posted in the chat, you all should know, CharityGPT in terms of like the website. Again, if you haven't already created an account, you'll get 5,000 free words and 5 free images when you sign up for CharityGPT. If you're ever having, if you ever want to even test it out a little bit more, say you run out and you're not really ready to upgrade yet, let us know. We'd be happy to provide you with some more words, some more images if you want to see, maybe if you're trying to test it out again, Bill, maybe for your team. So hopefully that provides a little bit more information into CharityGPT. Like I said, we're going to be doing a lot more of these. The office hours as well. Go to the community and go to the office hours tab and sign up for office hours. We have those weekly, so that if you have specific questions, those are going to just be like specific questions, specific features. We're happy to help. They're free. And we do those weekly. So definitely sign up for those, and we will continue to do that. And Kevin, this video conferencing system is actually Circle. It's circle.so. It's our community platform. So it's what powers that whole community that I believe that you and everyone else are in. So it's that community that has the different spaces, the ability to have the forums discussion, those courses. And so we're using the live stream feature in there. So again, thank you to everyone for joining today. Happy Friday, and I hope you all have a great rest of your week. All right. Bye, everyone.